Oh, there. Good morning, everybody. How are we? Todd, it's good to have you back, buddy. It's good to have you back. It's good to see everybody here, guys. Thanks for being here. Keep in mind, please, do not move the chairs. Wherever they were set, that's where they need to be. So if you are close to someone, you need to scoot a little bit further apart again. I know it's a pain. I know you don't like it, but we got to keep the distancing. So some of these chairs, unless you have a twin or you're sitting directly next to your brother or sister, you need to scoot away from each other. So that's only a few of you guys. I know you don't like it, but we need you to kind of move away from each other, boys. I know those chairs have been scooted together. Hey, and we did have someone test positive last week, but because we've done everything we've done, it only got traced back to one other person from exposure. And so that is why we do this, okay? I know it's a pain. You're like, well, we're a church and we don't want to. But that way we can say, hey, they weren't within 6 feet, so none of these people had to get, taken out or anything like that. So it's just a good reminder, okay? So just be safe. Keep separated. When you go to your small group, students, I just reminded our leaders, when you go to your small groups, don't all cram together in your chairs and around little circles and stuff. Stay 6 feet, all right? Stay a little bit with your separation. I know that's hard for you. I know it. And it's hard for me to remember that as well. But please just keep that in mind, all right? That's enough of that stuff. Thank you for joining us online. Did someone have a question? Yes, sir. Do you get donuts?
Yeah, do I get donuts?
You don't.
What?
Sorry. It's totally fair. It's no participation points here, people. Win something. All right. So hey, here's a couple of things. I want to make sure everybody keeps all of this stuff in mind, all right? We have a few things coming up. So I don't remember the order of my announcements, but let's do this. Life groups this week. Thank you. We are back on with life groups. It was good to have a bunch of you guys join us this past Wednesday. Our high schoolers started a new Bible study going through Luke in the Bible Project. Mid-school, we started a new thing, just going through our Vibes series. It is so good because I'm on both of those, and it's so cool to see so many people just participating and sharing and being a part of that stuff. Man, I can't encourage you enough. If you're not coming to Life Group, check it out this Wednesday. If you want to be on that plan, high school students, you need to, Kelly did that, right? If you are friends with Kelly Cram, she probably should have already sent you. If you have not done that, you're like, hey, I want to be a part of Life Group, but I'm not on that. Make sure you send through our YouVersion app an invite or a friend request to Kelly Cram. Mid-school, if you are not here, but you're planning on being at Life Group, will you put that next picture with the FSM? You need to make sure you are on YouVersion, send a friend request to FSM Blue Springs, and I will add you to the Vibes devotional that we're going through right now. So again, both of those guys, it's so encouraging just to open up and kind of see what everybody's learning and what you guys are reading. Very, very good stuff. So keep it up. Should be some great discussion going on this Wednesday. So join us. And the only other couple things we do have coming up, I want to remind everybody, is the first Wednesday in February. We're going to start doing these the first Wednesday of each month other than March. First Wednesday of each month, we're doing an Exodus, but we got to figure out a new name, like Exodus XL or something. Like, is that like a bigger version of Exodus? And so it's gonna be somewhere in between like what your Christmas winter parties were and what Exodus used to be. So kind of like that. It's gonna be Exodus but bigger. And so I don't know. We'll stick with Exodus XL right now until we come up with something different. Yes, Keegan. Exodus Mega. Todd likes that one. So whatever we end up calling it, so it's going to be a fun day, and we'll have a ton of more details on what that's going to look like next Sunday, okay? But those are going to be your opportunities. We don't have every Wednesday opportunities just for you to invite somebody that maybe doesn't only come to church or just a fun night. That's what those are going to be for, all right? Those are your events where you're like, man, you need to come check this out with me. It's going to be a great night. Those are going to be your nights, all right? So get ready for that because it's really coming up pretty quick, all right? Just a couple weeks from now. And then the other thing, just keep in mind, and we will have all the details on this stuff Hopefully even sign-up forms coming next Sunday. We do have our Refuel Weekend, the first weekend in March. We talked about this a little bit last week. It will be a little bit different. That is not our graphic. I just totally took that offline and put our dates to it. So, but it is Refuel, March 5th through the 7th. It almost looks like it. But hey, just keep that in mind because there is something coming up. So if you're looking at your calendars, like, man, I got to have that free March 5th through the 7th. That's my Refuel Weekend. It's going to be a great time. And we will talk about all of that stuff coming. I just want that to be in the back of your mind. Pastor Randall just talked about Oikos cards upstairs on like people that are on your heart. Who can you invite? These are your opportunities, all right? March 5th and 7th. The first Wednesday in February. Like, those are two things right there that are easy. Like, who am I praying for and who could I invite to something? Those are the things, all right? So keep all that stuff in mind, and it's gonna be just a great next few months. So good stuff coming up. We can't do everything, but we can still do something. So there's no backing down from everything else. That is all of our announcements, I believe. Do we have anything else this week? Thank you, Will. All right, Will, what do you got for us, sir?
I threw a boomerang a couple months ago.
Yes.
I now live in constant fear.
Well, that joke was so good, you just won yourself some Oreo candy canes. Would you like them? No. Dang it. It's the gift that we can't give away. All right. You got to win it. No, you got to win it. So, hey. That is good, but that's not a win. All right, that's not how you win. Hey, we are going to play a little game here because we do got to get rid of our Nesquik Christmas package. All right, still good stuff. So we are going to play a little game. Will, what is today's game for prizes, sir? Match it. That's right. I keep forgetting what I put in there. All right, super simple game. For some people are like, it's really difficult, and it doesn't matter how smart you are because some of these, you might just not see what it is. Very easy game. All it's going to be is there's going to be two screens. All right, they both have the same things, some of the same things on it. You got to discover like which one has the same item to the right and the left of it. There's going to be one item that's on both sides. Once you have it, just stand up, raise your hand, call on you, see if you named the right thing. Sound easy enough? If anybody gets a couple, 2 or 3, then you get the free Nesquik. Super easy. Super easy. Are you ready back there? Let's go ahead and try this. Let's see. Maybe it's harder than I thought. Maybe it's easier than I thought. What do we got? But the volleyball is correct. The volleyball is correct. All right, some of these get a little harder, all right? Did anybody see the volleyball? How many of you guys had no clue you didn't see the volleyball at all? Okay, now you know what to do. Now you know what to do. All right, next one, and you guys might have to, when you raise your hand, you can like pull down your mask and yell out the answer. Next one is, yes, Keegan. Huh? The bomb, yes, the bomb. Good job, Keegan. So to win, you might have to get like at least two. Yeah, you probably have to stand up. You did? I didn't see, I'm sorry. I'm trying to see everybody. There's a whole crowd out here. All right, what do we got next? Yes, Mason. The what? The penguin. The penguin is correct. All right, good job, Mason, good job. See, I'm staring at the screen trying to look. I need to keep my eye out here. All right, what's our next one? Go for it. Todd. The what? The phone. All right. Yes, Todd, that is correct. Next one. What do we got? I think it was Delaney. Lisa says Delaney. Delaney. The sun. Yep. Oh, it's the flame on that one. I didn't notice that one before. All right, next one. No one has 2 yet. Yes. The what? The lightning bolt. Lightning bolt is correct. Go to the next one. Yes. The yellow splat mustard stain. I don't know. Yes, go to the next one. This was way harder when I was watching it. Mason! Huh? The 8 ball. Oh, very good, Mason. Mason, you got the lead right now. You got the lead. Go to the next one. That's it? What? Oh. I don't know who was up. I know, but she was still looking. She just stood up. I saw your eyes, Delaney. Ethan. Oh, look at that. Pizza. Good job. Is there another one? All right, let's go for it. 2 more. Don't stand up until you know the answer. Yes. A toothbrush? Toothbrush.
So you could have everybody that's won one now
Only
compete
if you
against
won.
each other for the final answer.
Well, Mason's already got 2,
Oh, Mason already has 2?
so you can only tie him on this one.
Well, I didn't realize that there was...
All right. If you've won one so far, stand up. If you've won at least one, stand up.
I don't know what that was.
All right. If you won one, stand up. So if you get it, just raise your hand. Go to the next one. Mason. The what? The bomb. Nope. The 8 ball. Oh. Ethan and Mason, you guys are tied. Is that it? Is there any more? That was it? Gorilla Man gun. It's been a long time. What?
Oh, Keegan has 2. There's a 3-way tie. And there's only 2 glasses in...
I don't know the definition of forfeit, Ethan. What are you doing? What are you doing? All right. It's been a long time and we feel coming up. Let's see the half of this. Here we go. I don't have a microphone. You guys know what the fifth round is, right?
I'll say it. Yeah. All right, here we go. Go ahead, give us that beat. Give us that beat. Here we go. Gorilla beats the man beats the gun beats the gorilla. If you tie, you die. Gorilla beats the man beats the gun beats the gorilla. If you tie, you die. 1, 2, 3. They both picked man. Hey!
Freshman girls, a budget does not get awards every week apparently. So, yeah, you guys, which one does freshman girls want? Chocolate or powdered donuts? Which one do freshman girls want? Chocolate or powdered? You gotta pick one. Chocolate?
You only got one of them? One of them for a whole group?
Hey, junior senior girls! Oh, wait, wrong one.
You only got one bag for the whole group? There's not many donuts in that thing. On that note, everybody stand on up with me. If you were part of worship upstairs, you got to do this song already. But we're going to do it again. It's a great song. It talks about God taking the worst of us and turning it into the best of us. There is nothing better than Him. So sing this with me. I searched the world, but it couldn't fill me. A man's empty grave and treasures that fade are never enough. Then you came along and put me back together, and every desire is now satisfied here in your love. Oh, there's nothing better than you. There's nothing better than you. Nothing is better than you. It's probably a microphone.
Wasn't that awesome? That was our performance for the day. There you go, y'all. My mic? My mic needs
All right, let's give this another go then. Sorry about that. All right, well, that happened. Let's try this again. And I searched the world, but it couldn't fill me. A man's empty grave and treasures of fate are never enough. Then you came along and put me back together, and every desire is now satisfied here in your love. Oh, there's nothing better than you. There's nothing better than you. There's nothing. Nothing is better than you. I'm not afraid to show you my weakness, my failures and flaws. Lord, you've seen them all, and you still call me friend. 'Cause the God of the mountain is the God of the valley, and there's not a place your mercy and grace won't find me again. Oh, there's nothing better than you. There's nothing better than you. We're going to do another pretty new one. I think a lot of you are pretty familiar with it, but it's such a good reminder about us not going through life alone. When we feel like we're surrounded by lots of stuff in the world, we feel like we're alone. I love the promise that God has made to us to never leave us alone. We are constantly surrounded by Him, by His truth, by His people, by His church, but ultimately His presence. And that's what this song's all about. That we don't have to fight the battle of life alone, because He always will be with us. So as we sing this today, let's proclaim out to the Father that the way that we fight through those problems, the way that we fight through that fear is with Him and Him alone.
There's a table that you prepared for me in the presence of my enemies. It's your body and your blood you shed for me. This is how I fight my battles. There's a table that you prepared for me in the presence of my enemies. It's your body and your blood you
God, we thank you for your goodness. God, we thank you for the promise of living among us. God, we thank you for the promise of never leaving us. God, that you can restore things that are dead and bring them back to life. And God, a lot of us have a lot of things going on in our lives that we just feel kind of overwhelmed by. But God, you have control over those. You have owned them. God, you can get us through those. God, I thank you for the promise of never leaving us alone, but walking beside us and getting us out of the muck. God, thank you for surrounding us with your love and your hope. God, I pray that we can share that hope with those around us every day, whether it's in our classrooms or at our jobs, in our homes. God, may we live a life of salt and light. God, may we show people your love by how we live our lives and how we express our relationship with you to them. God, we give you honor and praise today in our praise and worship. Amen.
Got the white one on. Perfect. Welcome online, everybody. Real quick, I'm going to try something today. I hope that some of you guys at least know where this is coming from. And if you don't, then you're going to learn something new today. So here we go. I am a C. I am a CH. I am a CHRISTIAN. And I have CHRIST in my HEART, and I will LIVEETERNALLY for HIM. Okay, now, we're going to do this, and we're going to keep going faster, but first you guys have to learn the version that I learned, because it was way cooler. All right, here we go. You ready? You're going to like this one, Todd. Like, this is, I'm pretty sure. Here we go. All right, here we go. I am a C. I am a CH. I am a CHRISTIAN. Yeehaw! And I have CHRIST in my HEART, and I will LIVEETERNALLY for HIM. All right, no one's participating. So here's what happens. I thought this was going to happen. This was all part of the plan. So here we go. Whoever does not participate has to come up here and do it with me. All right, here we go. Now, if you don't know the song, that's okay. You can still clap. And you can give the yeehaw at the right time, okay? All right, here we go. So, quietest yeehaw is up here with me. Are you guys ready? Here we go. Or no yeehaw. You're definitely up here with me. All right, here we go. Ready? I am a C. I am a CH. I am a CHRISTIAN. I have CHRIST in my HEART, and I will LIVEETERNALLY for HIM. All right, here we go. I am a C. I am a CH. I am a CHRISTIAN. I have CHRIST in my HEART, and I will LIVEETERNALLY for HIM. All right, no one had to come up here. All right, now, the whole reason I did that is because at some point, I know that the introverts were like, oh no, he's going to make me come up here. And I just wanted you guys to have that shot of adrenaline that comes from fear, because that's what we're talking about today, is fear. All right, so fear is a feeling. Fear is something that can control us. And I think I kind of controlled some of you guys, because you're like, I am not going up there. I'm going to say yeehaw. All right, so here we go. Fear is a feeling that will control us. But we need to learn something that helps us overcome fear, so that way we're not making decisions from fear. We want to make our decisions from a point of truth. We don't want feelings that are often incorrect and not truthful controlling who we are. So today we're going to learn a little bit about truth and a little bit about fear and what we need to use in our lives to make decisions, okay? So, first of all, what is truth? In John 14, Jesus said that he is the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through him. So, first of all, Jesus is truth. We're supposed to seek Jesus. We're supposed to seek truth and let that guide and define our lives. And we see many times in the Bible that God allows us to choose truth over fear. Many times when fear shows up in the Bible, we're seeing examples, and I mean literally hundreds of times in the Bible where fear comes in. We see examples of God helping us to suppress that fear. So a few examples. David in Psalms says, I sought the Lord, and he answered me and delivered me from all my fears. Those who look to him are radiant, and their faces shall never be ashamed. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the stronghold of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? When evildoers assail me to eat up my flesh, my adversaries and foes, it is they who stumble and fall. Though an army encamp against me, my heart shall not fear. Though war rise against me, yet I will be confident. And then in Isaiah, God says directly, he says, For I, the Lord your God, hold your right hand. It is I who say to you, fear not. I am the one who helps you. Again in Isaiah, say to those who have an anxious heart, be strong, fear not. Behold, your God will come with vengeance. With the recompense of God, he will come and save you. So we just see over and over and over and over and over again where God helps us to suppress our feeling of fear. And he does that because he actually has the power to deliver us from fearful situations. If we're followers of Christ, then we're going to need his help suppressing fears because he's strengthening us to send out his message to the world that needs him. In Matthew chapter 10, Jesus is speaking to the disciples. He says, I'm sending you out as sheep in the midst of wolves. So he's saying, I'm going to send you out into the world, a world that is not going to want to accept you, a world that does not want to accept me. So I'm going to send you out as sheep to the wolves. And then in James, it says, do you not know that friendship with the world is enmity with God? Therefore, whoever wishes to be a friend of the world makes himself an enemy of God. Guys, the world does not accept believers. The world does not accept the message of Christ as a whole. Individual people do, absolutely. That's why we are to go out and give them that message. But they are not going to always accept that. The Bible says that the world is going to hate you for taking that message to them. So when we're in situations where we are fearful of how the world is going to accept us or accept the message that we're taking out to the world, then we need to remember that God has given us the ability to overcome fear because he wants us to take his message to the world, because that message is important. I was actually going to go through the list that Pastor Randall went through this morning, if anyone was in the service, about all the things that happened to the disciples, how they were killed because of the stands that they took. The fear that they overcame did not mean that they were saved from horrible things happening to them on earth. We should not be trying to make the world happy. We should be trying to make sure that the world hears the message of God. Unity for unity's sake with the world is not what we are called to do, and that's very clear in James. There is one thing that we are called to fear. So we're not supposed to fear men. Men have no power over our eternal souls. We are supposed to fear God and God alone. In Matthew 8, Jesus was talking to the disciples, or he wasn't talking to them yet. He was sleeping. But Jesus and the disciples were on a boat, and it says, Behold, there arose a great storm on the sea, so that the boat was being swamped by the waves. But he was asleep. And they went and woke him, saying, Save us, Lord, we are perishing. And he said to them, Why are you afraid, O you of little faith? Then he rose and rebuked the winds and the sea, and there was a great calm. And the men marveled, saying, What sort of man is this, that even winds and sea obey him? So he delivers them from the situation, obviously, because he has the capability. Who else has the capability to stop the storm, to calm the seas? Only Jesus, right? And so that's who we're putting our faith in. It continues later in Matthew 10. It says, again to the disciples, Do not fear those who kill the body, but cannot kill the soul. Rather fear him who can destroy both soul and body in hell. Are not 2 sparrows sold for a penny? And not one of them will fall to the ground apart from your Father. But even the hairs of your head are all numbered. Fear not, therefore, you are of more value than many sparrows. So, again, we're not supposed to be fearing man. Man has no control over our eternal soul. Only God has control over our eternal soul, right? So we're called to be bold. We're not called to sit back. We're called to overcome fear. It's scary, right? Everybody wants to be accepted, right? That's almost always the number one thing that comes into my mind whenever it's like, am I going to share this message with my roommate? Am I going to share this message with my coworker? Right? Those are the things that come into our mind immediately are, what are they going to think of me? Right? What are they going to think I'm like some crazy person or some fanatic? Right? Like, these are the types of questions that creep in, right? Those are the fears that we have to overcome. So I made you guys at the beginning a little fearful, some of you. So I thought it was only fair that I maybe do something that put a little fear in me. So there's this song. It's about Matthew chapter 6, and I'm gonna try. We'll see what happens here. Now, I was cheering for my Packers yesterday, so my voice is already a little, but here we go. Consider the lilies, they don't toil or spin, but there's not a king with more splendor than them. Consider the sparrows, they don't plant or sow, but they're fed by the master who watches them grow. We have a heavenly Father above, with eyes full of mercy and a heart full of love. And he really cares when your head is bowed low. Consider the lilies, and then you will know. May I introduce you to this friend of mine who hangs out the stars, tells the sun when to shine, and kisses the flowers each morning with dew. But he's not too busy to care about you. Guys, I just want you to know that you have a Father who loves you. Thanks, Todd. I want you guys to know you have a Father who loves you and a Father who is able to overcome anything that you have in front of you, any fear that you have. So please just go to your groups real quick, get some good time there. Have a good day.